Greetings, YouTube. Happy Tuesday. I logged into the game and saw this message, featured items return. Now, these are always fascinating because they give you so many options. And so my job, if I accept it, which I always do, is to not only tell you which ones to buy, but how many of each are considered a good deal. So we've got Hero Crystal Shards, Catalyst, Fragments, Signature Stones, and more. Those who become uncollected and above will gain access to their own list of items during this time. Specially selected items will be available from August 25th to August 28th. Well, August 25th is, well, what do you know, today. So time to both claim that daily crystal and also to figure out what to do. So featured items returned. There's also a change to incursions. Let's make sure we cover that real quick. The challenges will be increased soon, but this will mean that incursions will be inactive from September 5th to September 8th. Updated milestone rewards, top room rewards, incursion store rewards, buff pools, champion pools. I'm not looking forward to fighting Dr. Doom and incursions. New Sector 8. That's going to be its own forum post discussion, but we don't want to take up too much of your time on that because that is not the purpose of this video. The purpose of this video is to talk about the featured items and what you want. Now, I'm just going to be honest. With a select amount of units, just ignore the 4-star shards. You can get these so easily, so many other ways. The last thing you want to do is spend your precious units on them, so they are not a good value. They are something you should automatically get just by playing the game, and I say don't spend any units on them. Now, the 5-star shards, of course, are a little different. Let's see, for example, how much 1,000 5-star shards will cost you. It's 180 units. So keep in mind, if you were to buy a 5-star normally on an average day with a good deal, that would cost you about $30. And yes, I realize it's cost $10 before, where that was a once in a lifetime thing. It's an outlier. You can't compare it. So it's 850 units. So if you're going to the store and buying 5-star shards and you're going to spend 850 units, let's see what that will get you. That will get you a little bit less than that. Will get you only 2,400 5-star shards. Not a good deal at all. So if you're going to buy 5-star shards, I still say spend 180 units to get 1,000, but it's still not great. I don't think, given the comparison of this to the free 5-star crystal you get just for doing the 1 million points arena this week, I don't think this is worth it at all for your units. Now, if you want to talk about something that's a better buy, at least in terms of how rare it is, the 6-star shards do make a compelling argument. Now, how much is 1,000 6-star shards? Well, let's go here. 750 units. That's almost $30 for 1,000 5-star shards. We now see routinely that is the case for the $50 early access bundles, where you get 1,000 6-star shards, I should say. So 1,000 6-star shards for 750 units. That's the limit of what I would recommend. I still think that the problem with this is that, unlike the early access bundles, which yes are $50 for the Cavalier instead of $30, but you get the 3 greater champion boost and the 5 3-star to 6-star featured Cavalier crystals included. Whereas this, of course, you just get the 6-star shards and that's it. So out of the 4-star, 5-star, and 6-star shards, this is the best deal, but it's still not a good deal. I'd say the other two are like a D to an F value, especially for the 4-star shards. This is like a D plus C minus at 5, and everything above 5, not so much. Skip the 4-star signature stones, skip the Grandmaster crystal shards, skip the 5-star signature stone gamble crystals. This always triggers me because look at the difference. For 3 units more, you go from gambling on a 1 out of 6 RNG casino-like deal to getting a guaranteed signature stone for any champion of any class as long as they're an awakened 5-star champion. So the 5-star signature stones are routinely a much better deal, and I was hopeful that when these came back eventually, we'd see at least an opportunity for some 6-star signature stones, even if they're the crystal based. I don't see any so far. Maybe I'll be wrong, But if they're not here, that's a missed opportunity. For those of you who are Cavalier, who right now are so thirsty and focused on taking those 6 stars up signature levels, that the 5-star signature stones aren't going to be what they used to be, especially 1 to 2 years ago for your account progression. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that we're going to buy 5 of these. That's 125 units. If you buy 10 of them, that goes up to 375. I think 10 is the max that I would recommend for summoners that are looking to buy signature stones. If you want to get a slightly better deal, I say stick to 5 for 125 units. That's not a bad price for these. Keep in mind, this used to be one of the most expensive, rarest of items, with Labyrinth of Legends completion and exploration for the generics. But thankfully, they've come down massively in price in the past couple of years, and we'll take advantage of that in the store. So this is like a B value. It's one of the best values we've seen yet. Now, speaking of old values, Tier 1 Alpha Catalyst fragments, these are interesting. If you buy 10, that's 75 units. I think if you need some Tier 1 Alpha, and Lord knows that it still makes 0 sense why we can hoard more Tier 2 Alpha than Tier 1 Alpha. Somebody explain that to me. But I'd say 10 of those for 75 units. It's a solid B- level deal. Tier 2 Class Catalyst crystals, skip them. Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments. These things used to be so rare, but now consider 7,200 of these, or 10 times, it's almost 1,000 units. Assuming that your alliance runs at least map 4 of Alliance Quest, but especially map 5 and above, you would be foolish to spend your units on this when there are so many better offers, even unit-based offers, that appear normally in the game. And then on top of that, you can just use your Glory in the Glory store to get a crazy amount of awesome Tier 2 Alpha Catalyst fragments for free, other than the time and energy it takes to play the weekly Alliance Quest 5 days. So I would say skip the Tier 2 Alphas. None of these are worth your units, not even a couple levels compared to the Glory store especially. Skip the Tier 3 Class Catalyst crystals. The fact that this is not a selector at this point is really frustrating and low value for the player. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Tier 4 basics. This is another thing that if you buy 10 of them, they're really not that expensive at all. It's 100 units. But when you consider that 10 of those is still only, about half of a Tier 4 basic, not a good value. Wait for the Tier 4 basic arena right around the corner. Don't get them. The Tier 4 Cosmic Catalyst fragments or Class Catalyst fragments of any of these, I also think are way too overpriced. They should be able to, at this point, give you just a flat price for a Tier 4 Class Catalyst selector. Maybe it'll be 150 units, I don't know, for a fully formed of that Tier 4. That's still going to be a better offer than the fragments. I would not recommend any of those. I would also definitely not recommend any of the Tier 4 Class Catalyst fragment crystals. Those things are a joke for the price. And then lastly, you've got the Tier 5 basic. Now, if you buy 5 of these, that's 750 units. I would say the max that I would recommend is 3. 3 is like a C to C plus offer. It's still not great compared to what you get being uncollected and above in the Glory store, but it's a heck of a lot better than most of the offers in here. This store needs a revamp. They haven't changed the prices, and I think we first saw this thing before the Glory store updates for those of you who were uncollected in Cavalier. So it's still priced like these items have a much higher rarity and therefore a much higher asking value for units, but they just don't. Since the Glory store changes, Tier 5 basic Catalyst fragments and Tier 2 Alpha are 3 to 4 times at least as accessible, and that's not even counting. Keep in mind, we're almost done somehow already with the month of August. And so we know at the end of the month of August, we will get, as Cavalier members in 3 days, this fully formed Tier 2 Alpha just for logging in. It's my favorite change that Kabam's made among many pro player decisions that they deserve credit for in the last year. And so you compare that free Tier 2 Alpha to the massive amount of units they want you to spend just for fragments in this new featured item store, and it's just pathetic. So I know I'm being picky, I know I'm being stingy, but when it comes to your units, I have to keep it 100, or as some subscribers sometimes, I don't know what it means, but keep it 1,000. I would stick to 5-star generic signature stones. I would stick to 6-star shards, though don't go too crazy with this because you'll find much better values, especially in the unit store when you spend cash on things like early access bundles. And then besides that, maybe a couple of layers of Tier 5 basic, but that's it. I won't even recommend the Tier 2 Alpha this time around because I think they're too high a price. Oh, also the Tier 1 Alpha, if you need some of those can be very rare, particularly because it costs so many to rank up a champion. So Tier 1 Alphas, Tier 5 basic, 5-star generic signature stones, and 6-star shards. Those are the deals that are worth getting or considering in this, but so many are just outdated, priced way too high. Kabam really needs to add some 6-star signature stone, at least crystals in these, and then drastically reduce the asking price, particularly for 5-star shards and also for tier 2 alpha catalyst fragments. It's priced 2 years ago, and it's not 2018, Kabam. Wake up. It's 2020. Thanks for watching.